Oh yeah, that's right. It's 84-hour time. Here we are, live in effect. I'm rusty, man. See if I still got it. Simeon, NYC. Appreciate y'all touching base here. Also testing out a new microphone. So I would like to confirm audio levels from the chat. If someone can confirm this is sounding crispy, this is sounding good, let a brother know. We are testing out this. I just hit the mute button. We are testing out this Blue Yeti microphone. Okay, look at this. We are stepping up our audio capabilities here at 84 headquarters. All right. We're getting audio confirmation from D-Runk. Sounds good. Now shut it. Shut out to D-Runk. Even though you're badgering me, D. Let's drop that. Let's drop that drop for D. There we go. Hats off to D. Runk. Yeah, man. So I wanted to fire this baby up. Like I said, rusty. I had to blow off the cobwebs on the Comic Kid 84 channel. Some would say this channel is a shell of its former self, and I wouldn't blame you, because having a hard time keeping up with everything, honestly. Been a little tricky in that department, but your boy's doing his best. I got some cool comments from some YouTube videos that I still need to respond to. Probably some IG comments to respond to. I'm working on it. Work, you know how that goes. Work is all consuming in the summertime for your boy. And trying to maintain, this girlfriend situation, which, so far so good. So, we got to water that plant a little bit so it can sprout. It can, Yo, Mark Knapp. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, Mark Knapp. Cat 60, what's up? Good to see you, man. Cat 60, if I'm not mistaken, a previous auction compadre of mine. If I'm not mistaken. Good to see you, man. Aggressively relaxing. Oh, yeah. Well, Justin, I felt that. I said aggressively needs some content. I will oblige him. Yeah. Simeon. Yeah, Simeon does need a cool bumper. Let's see his suggestion. Maybe Hugh Hefner, walking down the aisle with two blondes 50 plus years younger than him. That sounds about right, man. You know what I could use? How about that? So many half-baked ideas. Just like, what were we going to call it? Damn, what was the name of that? The show we were going to do? Oh, Hurling Feces. I got that sweet Hurling Feces bumper intro. We need to make that happen. I really would like to kick it and have some kind of show where I shoot the shit with Unruly Simeon. We got to find an excuse for that sometime soon. Okay. Here we are. I got, I did some flea market hauling in the past couple weeks. And yeah, I'm about to break it down for you. I've got something that I'm going to unbox. So we got an unboxing on the docket. And I'm going to transition that into some other things. So, yeah, man. Uh, I think I got a well curated, action packed episode for you tonight. You won't regret tuning in to this explosive episode of the 84 hour. Let me just say that. Geeks and Drinks in the place to be. Good to see you, man. Geeks and Drinks been killing it on the original art collecting lately. God dang it. By the way, let me know if there's a volume button on this microphone. I don't know if that makes the volume louder for you. Look, I'm going to turn it up all the way. This is microphone turned up all the way. And this is microphone turned halfway. Do you notice a difference when I did that? Let a brother know. Coach Vic, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. I didn't know you were an anime guy, Coach Vic. Cleaning the kitchen. This is going to be great. Yes, it is going to be great. Brandon, Looney Tunes fan. Beep, beep. Good to see you, man. Wile E. Coyote, growing up, was always my top tier favorite Looney Tunes character. Just know that. Okay. Why don't I just start off strong with some books? You know, we start out in usual before show fashion. Where I just get indulged in the chat. And I'm just, But let's get on the track. Oh, are those your favorites? Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote? I wouldn't be mad at that. Brandon just prompted the chat to say, who's your favorite Looney Tunes character? Which is a good question, because Looney Tunes is a stellar, maybe underappreciated, I don't know, cartoon franchise that was, frankly, not done justice in the recent Space Jam. They did like half the movie, the Looney Tunes characters were in like 3D animation. I'm like, that's not Looney Tunes. You got to just do it like the OG Space Jam. You just got to have regular animation next to the characters, just like Roger Rabbit style. You got to do it like that. You don't 3D Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. They just don't look right. Golly. JP Budget Collecting. Good to see you, man. I've been meaning to follow up with you and D-Runk and ask you how the con that you guys linked up together, a fraction of the PitCon crew did unite at that con. I got to get myself caught up on that. Unruly likes, I say, Foghorn Leghorn, good choice. Michigan J Frog. Pete Puma, who's that? Okay. As promised, I'm not going to divulge into the chat. I got to keep focused. Let me show you some books, man. These are all, I haven't really been into like the, getting some of the bigger keys, like some of these illustrious books behind me. I haven't done any buying like that in the last year. And maybe I'll touch on that later. I got some thoughts on that. But so I just been flea market diving, rolling up with maybe $50, $100 budget and just digging into flea markets, man. That's been hitting the spot for me. That's real purist shit right there. I love a good flea market hunt. Hey, Aaron. Yes. Yes, now it's feeling like a real 84 hour now. We got Aaron out the woodwork. All right, let's pull some books. The first one, I posted this bad boy on my Instagram the other day. Milk and Cheese. I've never found a Milk and Cheese comic in the wild. And it says fourth #1. So I don't know if that's a fourth print of the #1 or if they've rebooted the series 4 times. And this is like volume 4, issue 1. I haven't got to the bottom of that yet. But got that Milk and Cheese. Kyle Baker. Goodness, says Unruly Simeon. I haven't read too much of his stuff. But I love that line on the front. If you're so goddamn hip, then why are you reading comic books? I mean, well played. What's up, card stock variant? My man. Good to see you, brother. Next up, these were like real $1 snags, $2 snags. This one, I had never seen this book before. New X-Men Academy. Right? I guess you'd call it New X-Men Academy. I couldn't find it on any like key collector type thing, so I don't know what the deal is, but it's a #1 issue, New X-Men Academy, which I'm pretty sure first appearances of all these jabroni X-Men characters. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab it. Who knows? Maybe these characters will be relevant someday, but I will tell you, I did read it, and let's just say I'm not surprised we haven't seen much from these characters again, because it was kind of lame. But New X-Men Academy, I snagged it. I grabbed this sealed poly-bagged X-Men #1 Pizza Hut. Brought to you by Pizza Hut. Promotional comic. Whenever I see a promotional comic in the wild, I always think of one man. The mighty Metarog. So I got to ask him if he has this one. Something tells me he probably does. His promotional comic collection is pretty serious, but whenever I see one, I always grab it and tuck it to the side just in case he doesn't. But even if he does, I'll happily keep this one. Pretty cool. I'm a collector of DC Comics Presents. I think it's a fun series. Superman team up, the brave and the bold for Superman, basically. And it's Superman and the Atomic Knights. And if you're just double checking if that is a dude in a suit of armor riding a massive Dalmatian dog with fangs, you would guess correct. It's a bizarre story. I read it. I'm pretty sure from the feel of the book, I think it's this Atomic Knights crew and concept, I'm pretty sure is a one-off situation, because they didn't seem like they were lasting characters. Very bizarre type of story, but it was a fun ride. You know, when you see a still sealed bag collector's edition of Shadow of the Bat #1, you got to grab it. That's how I feel. Zaz debuts in this, but it's great. This is this is Brayfogle, if I'm not mistaken. Solid Brayfogle art. The painted covers I love from this series, and the stuff that it includes are fun. I have an opened copy, and it's like bookmarks, a map of Arkham Asylum, an unfolding diorama of like Batman's Rogues Gallery. It's a fun little collector's edition. It seems like this book grows on trees. I don't think there's much scarcity in the Shadow of the Bat #1 department. But like I said, I stumble upon that on the cheapy cheap. It's coming home. Tom with an H. Tom's Comic Books and Reviews. Good to see you, my friend. Here's my man, the legend, MCM. Oh, no. Bill, what's going on here? I just noticed your logo. I never really pieced it together before, but it looks like your logo says MCM. But it should be CMM, Comic Mag Musings. I got to talk to the art department over at Mag Musings Inc. I mean, I know the C is positioned a little higher, but I'm an American comic book reader. We read from left to right, dude. You're doing some manga Japanese style, start from the middle, go left, go right. That's not how we do it in the West here, Bill. But I appreciate your attendance nonetheless. JT, station to you as well. Station to you as well. Next up, and like I said, these I do have. I'm going to show you some heat as we proceed, but I'm starting out. These are all just like $1 or $2 flea market snags, dude. That's what this is about on the front end here. Infinity War, #1. I don't know. Who's the I feel like I should recognize the artist because it's a distinct style that I know I've seen a bunch before. Can anyone look at that and just say, "Oh yeah, that Captain America face looks like it's very distinct to a certain artist." Why can't I think? Let me know. Maybe Steranko? No, I don't know. We'll put that on ice for now. Maybe we'll get back to it if anyone cares. This next little chunk, the #1 issue was missing. I think someone plucked the #1 issue, but I grabbed the other ones because they were $1 a piece, and I'm not too proud to say I bought it because I saw it on the Comic Tom list because I don't know the deal with the Astounding Wolfman. I know he's a branch of Invincible, the Invincible universe, and I've never read Invincible, the series, yet. There you go, Dave Enrique. I think you're right. I think that is Ron Lim. You're right, because this art style reminds me of Volume 3, Silver Surfer. Well done, Todd Christensen. Well done. Good eye, fellas. Good eye. I do have a couple different. I have the Questions First Appearance comic book in Blue Beetle. #1. And I have one of my favorite Bill Sienkiewicz covers. There's a Question #1 Bill Sienkiewicz cover that is one of my favorites that he's done. I don't know what volume it is, but it's a beauty. Yo, Lucha, my brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see Lucha. So anyway, these were just the Wolfman, #2 through 5. If I ever stumble across the #1 issue, I guess I'll have the run or something. Whatever, no big deal. $4 investment. Oh, hold up. Some books are falling here. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Hold up, y'all. I just got to fix this real quick. Please stand by. Okay, we're back. I grabbed the set, Return of the Living Deadpool. Just seemed like it had some cool horror movie homage. Looks like horror movie poster homages on it. I was intrigued by the cover art. And I was intrigued by all 4. I think it's maybe a 4-issue series being there. So pretty snazzy. Pretty snazzy. Yeah, Mark, me and Folgers have had a working relationship for a few years now. They know They know that 84 is good for business, good for coffee sales. Okay, here's a good fact from Enrique. Is Astounding Wolfman's first appearance in a Free Comic Day book? If Dave's saying it, I tend to roll with that. Because Dave's one of the more knowledgeable fellas in the community. Dave, you stick in my mind from the days when we did the short-lived Name That Key show, which really needs to fucking come back. Another half-baked thing that I really want to find time to pull the trigger on. Name That Key was so fun. It really was. And I don't mean to, maybe it's a humble brag, but I'm just saying. I'm not bragging. I'm just reporting news. This is me just being a Walter Cronkite, reporting historic events. We did Name That Key a few times. And I remember the boy who had 7 watched it. And he had DM'd me and said, bro, I love that Name That Key shit. I want to do a game show idea too. I just want to run it by you. Just make sure you're cool with it. It's going to be comic gories. It's going to be something different. And I was like, that is a beautiful idea. I was like, please do that. And, comic gories is one of the funnest things now. He clearly has the stick-to-itiveness to do it right. But, I will say, Name That Key was in there early on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I thought of it because Dave Enrique was like always Johnny on the spot with stuff. If anyone needed to use a lifeline, I was always in my head being like, you better ask Dave because he fucking knows. I know, D. I know. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I almost pulled a muscle patting myself on the back. No. It wasn't that original of an idea. Just a random buck purchase. This is what's her name? Is this Jenny Frison? Black Panther. Looks like it's a connecting cover. And it looks like a Jenny Frison, so I scooped it. And I think that's Shuri. I grabbed the little Thor comic. Okay. Let's turn up the heat a little bit. This was from another. I stumbled across a couple of these. Araña, the Heart of the Spider. Number 3 and number 4 here. All the Spider-Verse shenanigans. I'm like, yo, if I see Araña, I'll probably grab it, And Hialeah will tell you, Araña is Espanol for spider. Ain't that right, Lucha? Can you confirm this? So Araña, the heart of the spider, someone could say El corazón, el araña. How would you say the heart of the spider? Is it el corazón, el araña? Not cortisone, like the shit you rub on your cuts or your wounds. Not cortisone. Corazón. Okay, get it right. We ain't talking ointment, brother. House till the end. Good to see you. Todd. Okay, so he's read it. I haven't read those yet. Araña was a fun series. Marvel should have done more with the character. Yeah. No doubt. Del. Corazón del Araña? Or some shit. Whatever. Okay, I snagged this up. I don't know if this is like first appearance. Okay, here we go. Let's get that confirmation. El Corazón. What did I say? I said El Corazón de. I don't think I put that de la. El Corazón de la Araña. Thank you, Lucha. I don't know if this is a first appearance, but sometimes like these video game properties that have, these nostalgic fan bases. Nostalgia is a strong thing, man. The nostalgia business is strong. And different video game properties have comic book adaptations. Mortal Kombat, first Mortal Kombat characters is notable. I think there's probably some other examples that I can't think of right now. But I stumbled across this Killer Instinct #1 by Armada Press. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this, you would call this the first published appearance of Killer Instinct in comics. I also don't know if anyone would care about that fact. Me, I was never a Killer Instinct guy, really. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken was my trinity. Killer Instinct never bit me like that, but nonetheless, I scooped it up and I thought highly enough of it to put it in Mylar. So what does that tell you? Oh, hold up. We got some homies in the chat here. Biggie, Shaq, in the place to be. Hold up. Let me properly shout out my boy. Biggie Shaq, it's good to see you, man. Drop that shit.
Big Biggie. 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 Big Biggie.
Yes. DJ Links in the mix, in the place to be. And actual Dracula. He will, like erosion, this motherfucker will change the landscape. Like an explosion, you can't escape his shockwave. Thank you. You don't want to ride his carousel or his Ferris wheel. Thank you. Programming note, tomorrow night, Friday night, Epic Rap Battle Part 5. Is it 5? I think it's 5, dude. V. Big Rap Battle. ERBV. Tomorrow night. Drax rapping. Chamorro Cinema's rapping. Hip Hop. Hip Hop SNME. Freaking Remy Q. DJ Links rapping. And your boy 84 holding it down. It's going to be a blast on this man's channel right here. If you don't know, now you know. You probably want to subscribe to DJ Links so you can be abreast of that rap battle tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Or is it 9 p.m.? One of those PMs. Proceed. As we proceed through the hall, I got excited because the homies showed up. Again, and just to bring you guys up, I'm perusing through recent flea market picks up. A lot of this stuff is like $1 pickups, $2 pickups. We'll progress into some spicier stuff, but I'm just letting you know how far 99 cents got me, brother, over the past couple weeks. I snagged up this right here, A Next. Now, first appearances of these characters, I said, why not? There's always these legacy characters being created. Multiverse is the hot thing now. I said maybe it's not a bad idea to have J2, although this isn't the first appearance of J2. Jubilee and Speedball are on this team. Who else we got? Thunderstrike. I think that's OG Thunderstrike. But Mainframe, I think, is new in this title. And Stinger, who is some kind of descendant of the Pym family, if I'm not mistaken. A Next. And I didn't just get A Next #1. I also got A Next #12. which was kind of like an homage, I guess, to the #1 issue, because this is where they debuted the Revengers. You know the Revengers: Ion Man, Saberclaw, Killer Watt. What is it? Killer Watt, the Red Queen, and Big Man. So, super clean copies. I snagged them up for uno peso. Oh, this next one. I couldn't resist. When you see Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns classic cover, Dark Knight Returns #3, when you see an homage of that on some random indie press title called The Midnight Skulker with a duck on it, Return of the Duck Knight, your boy's snagging it, man. Your boy's snagging it. The Midnight Skulker, just a fun indie pickup. Had to do it. Oh, this one. This is actually the back cover. I'm going to flip it over and show you. I don't know if any of y'all can guess what the front cover is going to be, what issue it's going to be based on the back. Now on sale. Hobo. Let's spin this baby around. This comic makes me think of Bub, my boy Bub Comics, Kentucky's finest. Because, you know, he loves the dames. He loves the good girls. So I've seen him post a couple of these titles from Spoof Comics where they make like these, you know, what's the word? Luscious female versions of classic characters. So this is Wolver Broad. Wolver Broad. And it ain't ever a bad thing when you got Jim Ballant. Jim Ballant doing hot chick art, because he is a classic master of the hot chick aesthetic in comic books. Just know that Jim Ballant is no joke. This next one, I need your help, chat. I could use your help. I don't know if there's any Mighty Morphing Power Ranger fans or connoisseurs in the chat, but I found these two. Okay. And I recognize them from, because I remember Biggie Shack. Matter of fact, I remember you was showing me these books. Because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1, okay, which I think usually, and by Saban, that has the Saban tag on it, by Hamilton Comics, first published appearance of Power Rangers, or one of, yeah, maybe the first or something. And then #4, which was the first White Ranger in comics. But here's the bugged out thing. It's like, it's the same cover art, but it says, see how this one says Saga on it? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Saga. Watch, I'm going to show you. If you can just indulge me for one sec while I pop Mighty Morphin. See, look, here's so Hamilton Comics, Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers #1. It's a different cover, because that's the one that they say is first appearance, right? And then #4, which they say is first White Ranger, shows that. And this is what mine is. So Maybe it's a reprint, some of that nature. Direct market edition, it says. I don't know. I'll do some research. I'll double check the years and see if they match up, but interesting. Interesting to say the least. Another nostalgia. I'm assembling this little like lot of old school nostalgia cartoon toy series comics. And I got another edition. Visionaries. Visionaries #1. I was never aware of like the cartoon of these guys, but I do remember the toys. They were like these figures that had these mirror prism hologram type things either on their chest, or they had like a little weapon thing that had it on it. But Visionaries #1. If I'm not mistaken, I seen my boy Tony Sanders, recently showed that he picked up one of these. The Knights of the Magical Light. Really good shape. The spot that I got these books from, they were really kept in good shape, so that was a score. Visionaries, baby. Yeah, see, Drac had some Visionary toys. Oh, and we're going to go back to, because there was some nostalgia pickups, like I said. And I showed you this Killer Instinct #1 comic. I think first appearance of Killer Instinct. And I found another video game centric #1 issue. First appearance issue. And it's a nice clean copy of Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank #1. I took that one home. And it has like it's like a textured cover on it too. Feels like canvas almost. It's an interesting book the way it was published. It feels pretty quality, but Ratchet and Clank, Killer Instinct, a couple of video game #1 issues. Manny, what's up, man? Good to see you. Benny C, great to see you, homie. Fantastic. Good to see everyone, man. I really appreciate it because I know I've been like, man, in this past like 6 months, maybe a year, but definitely 6 months, I've been so sporadic with YouTube stuff and keeping in touch with the community and all that. But one thing that gets proven to me over and over is that there's always that support, man. And I appreciate you guys coming out so I'm not sitting here talking to myself. Yeah, my man. White Whale Comics, Alec. Great to see you, brother. It is. Hope you're enjoying sunny Florida. Previously a Northeast Massachusetts native. Well, you're still a native, but you're a previous resident. It's good to see you, man. And and Cardstock recognizes the Ratchet and Clank book. That's his jam, and it's like a $35 book. I did a little research on it, and I was like, okay, this book has some, has some respect on it. Put some respect on my name, as Birdman would say. These next two books, I couldn't believe I found them. One I was missing, and one I already had, but I'm collecting. I was like 3 issues away from a full Commandy, The Last Boy on Earth by Jack Kirby run. Okay. I'm currently, I think, only missing 2 issues to complete the 50-something issue run. I was missing #2, but I found Commandy #2 one step closer to completing that run. The year of the rat. Hell yeah. Pumped. And then, much to my surprise, snagged the Commandy #1 for $5. Who would have thunk it, man? Who would have thunk a #1 would have been sitting there? The one I have currently is a little, higher condition than this, but still pretty nice. There's a little Mylar magic on it that might be deceiving, but hell yeah. Planet of the Apes homage, with the Statue of Liberty. I mean, that's how I see it anyway. So, yeah, that's right, Alec. A $5 Commandy? Can't pass it up. Almost regardless of what issue number it is, but especially if it's a #1. So 1 and 2, really a great run. Let me check with Biggie. I heard what Biggie's. I saw you type a little something. Let's see. Biggie's got a theory for why you haven't streamed as much comic YouTube. It's a lot more saturated now than there was a couple years ago. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I think the comic book hobby has no doubt grown, over the past couple of years. I mean, just look at the comic book market. Past couple of years, man. Prices have gone through the roof. So much so that I've really I've been a little turned off from buying some of the books like this. These kind of like key slab type books. Prices really are at like an all-time high. It feels like across the board. And I can't front. It's a little discouraging. Sometimes I'm like, maybe it's going to cool out, but then again, I don't know. But some would say, I'm just going to give a shout out to the PitCon chat and Comic Books NYC, who put me onto an interesting video that I want to show you. Oh man. It's called, damn it. Can you see what it's called? Hold on. Get into focus, you dirty scoundrel. Here we go. Exposing fraud and deception in the retro video game market. Posted by Carl Jobst. Okay? If you haven't heard of this video, you might want to maybe screenshot this moment and go back and check that out, because it was kind of eye-opening of some of the accused, supposed, alleged shenanigans and fuckery going on in the video game market. Shill bidding, grading company shenanigans, collusion. Thank you, D. My man, D. D-Runk with the link. You might want to put that in your, save, watch later. I couldn't help but draw parallels to the comic book market with that. And there's similar players, too, like Heritage, some guys from Go Collect in there. And it makes me feel like that, the scene is very investor, speculator heavy. I mean, it's always been that way. I feel like ever since we started doing this shit, there's been people like, oh, man, these guys just want to flip. There's always been that connotation of like, oh, there's a section of people that's all about the money. But boy, I really feel like maybe there's bigger players getting onto the stage now that can really affect maybe what these books are going for and what we think the values are. So anyway, that's why I've been like past 6 months at least, if not a year, I've been mostly content with my flea market dives, and thankfully, couple over the past 2 or 3 years, I was able to acquire a lot of the bangers that I was hoping to. Gore, what's up, Gore? Good to see you, man. Commandy 1. Madness. Yep. 70s Kirby at his best. Yep. At times 5 a month. At times 5 a month? 5 issues a month? No shit. Or 5 different titles a month. And yeah, and I kind of agree with you, White Whale. I might be partial too, but I really do like the Excuse me, I did not mean to jump out of the stream jump out of the stream like that. I was trying to like do some scrolling thing. Yeah, tip of the hat to you, White Whale. This is just a good bunch across the board, I gotta say. Yep, I'm back, big. Sorry. Overseas investors, yeah, man. Yeah, I think overseas investors and investors from different realms, card collectors specifically, I think really pumped a lot of money in and stuff like that. So it's it's a little tricky now. Let's see. And the last book from that haul is definitely a well-read copy of ROM Space Knight #1. Little ROM action, never hurt nobody when you can score it on the cheap. Okay. ROM Space Knight. So all in all, I think that this might be a combination of 2 recent like flea market / retro store. This little retro store that sells a lot of video games, old video games, and new ones and pops and stuff. That I get good deals on because he has these comics in the back, and he even tells me, he's like, I gotta be honest, no one really comes in here for the. He's like, you're one of the only guys that comes in for comics. Most of my clientele is video games, and he doesn't really know much about comics. So you know what's crazy is he will, when I bring comics up to him to cash out, I'll bring a stack, and he'll be like, so how much do you think is fair for those? He'll ask me, what do you think is fair for those? And I'll go through, but I'll tell you what, he does that now because the first couple times I went there, a lot of his stuff wasn't price marked, and I went up and was like, he admitted, he was like, I'm not super up on comics. He's like, I know a little bit, and I was like, okay, fair enough. And I would go through a stack and I would be like, all right, I think this is a $1 pile, I think this is a $3 pile. And then if there was ever some hitters, I would be like, you know what, this is probably like a $10, $15 book. And I would do that on the first few times that I bought. So I always treated him fairly. I never like went, obviously I'm giving myself, I'm doing like a pretty good deal. I'm not overpricing myself, that's for sure. But I'm not being a shitbag about it. If there's a good book, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give you $15, $20 for that. And then if there's dollar shit, so be it. So anyway, that paid off. Because after those first couple times, now he's just like, hey, what do you got? I'd be like, all right, what do you think it's worth? Now he just asks me what I want to pay. So it's pretty cool. Okay, follow up from Gore on clarification on when he said 5 times a month with Kirby. 5 different titles a month. Forever People, Mr. Miracle, New Gods, Commandy, Demon, Jimmy Olsen, Black Panther, 2001 Space Odyssey. Yeah, rich imagination, indie, prolific. That's why sometimes I don't hear it very often, but every now and then you'll be like, some people might suggest that Kirby is overrated, and it's not. The thing that I think people misunderstand or whatever about that is the reverence that people have for Kirby, that so many of us have for Kirby, is not just his art, you know? Because you can critique his art, whatever. There's a nostalgic element to it. But it's beyond that. It's like the how prolific the dude is, the important stuff that the guy worked on. Like, what a workhorse, what an imagination. There's so much of his body of work and his history, and I think people like that he's like seen like a blue collar dude, war veteran, seemed like a lunch pail type artist. That's why Kirby's revered. It's not just his artwork. It's not just the Kirby crackle. You know what I'm saying? So good point on that. Friend of Gore's opened the comic shop down the street. Down the street, hell yeah. Selling high-end books only. Many new customers haven't read a comic in their life. They have money and they're buying expensive books for investment. See that? Case in point. Case in point. There's definitely an investment. I feel like the whole society, is that too big of a... We live in a society. No, there's society at large is into investing, I've noticed lately. I've got friends that are doing stock market trading now that, dude, if you knew these guys, and trust me, I know these guys, and when I bump into them and they're like, oh yeah, man, I'm doing investing, stock investing, I'm like, are you kidding? You're doing stock investing? Like, first off, I know you... Well, I don't want to say you don't know shit about stocks, because anyone can, if they take enough time, they can learn anything. So I don't want to say that. But it's funny that it's like, I know that's not your realm of interest of how companies are performing. It's just the hustle aspect of it. It's like, dude, you were selling bags of dope like a year ago, 6 months, like, and now you're a stock market guy. Like, what are we doing here? And I just see it very commonly now, stock market stuff, NFTs. People are investing in NFTs. There's a big wave of investment. And I hate to say it, I think a lot of that is based on fast money. People love easy money. There's nothing that someone likes more than a quick buck. I would just say proceed with caution, because there's no such thing as a free lunch, as they say. Sometimes you can get some free lunches, but it's not a never-ending lunch line, if you will. That's all I'm going to say on that. Agreed, White Whale. Building a good relationship with a shop owner is worth more than trying to pull a fast one. Hell yes. You're the rascal. And supposedly he does have a back room. He says, yeah, I got, and he's expanding. Good for him. Good business is good for him, which is happy to hear. And he's like, yeah, I got like 2,000 comics that I have to sort, that we're sorting through, and then we're going to put them out. And I'm like, speaking of Looney Tunes, I was like, you know what I'm saying? You know, when it'd be some shit when like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are standing on a desert island, and they're dying of thirst, they're super hungry, and then because of the hunger delirium, Bugs Bunny starts looking at Daffy, and now he's looking at him as a cooked duck spinning on a rotisserie. You know what I'm saying? And he's salivating, and he's like, that was me, dude. When he said that, got about 2,000 comics that I'm sorting through. I haven't put them out yet. I'll let you know. And I'm one of the only guys that goes there for comics, because it's a video game store. So I started seeing cooked rotisserie ducks, brother, when he said that, okay? And Bill, You back off, dude. You stay in your part of town. Biggie's on the hunt for a Mark Spector Moon Knight 57. I'm going to pick up on books in a second. Let me just welcome our new entrants. Sam, I am. Good to see you. How fun was it to see the return of CM Punk? I'm sure you were excited about that. I thought it was pretty well done. So good for you to have your boy come back. Well, if it isn't Shattered Glass, Little Glass Tootsie himself. Good to see you, Tyler. Yeah, I think DJ Links probably is coming for Blood tomorrow. Programming note reminder to new entrants. DJ Links, Epic Rap Battle Part 5. Can you believe it? I can't believe we actually do rap battles with comic community people online. It's amazing. It's going down on DJ Links. It's a great time. Check it out if you haven't. I happen to be, I'm not bragging or anything, but I do happen to be the reigning champion of the Epic Rap Battle. You heard it here, folks. Don't stop selling dope. Yeah, I wanted to tell him, look, dude, stop fucking around and get back to selling dope right now. Get away from the stock market stuff. Okay. We're gonna pause from flea market hauls. I do have one other chunk of flea market hauls to share with you, but let's pause. Let's do a little pause as we get into me unboxing an auction purchase. It's a Torpedo box thing, but it's not from Torpedo Comics. This is an auction buy that I did kind of impulsively, honestly, the other night on a Strictly Comics auction. And here it is. It has arrived. And since we're going into a new segment, the auction unboxing segment is brought to you by our sponsor, Clearasil. You gotta dig, skin's looking great because Clearasil's ace face to face. Clearasil. When you gotta zap the zits, Clearasil is the only choice. Thank you. Okay. Let's open this baby up. Letter openers are a key tool for unboxing. Gemini mailers. Okay. Boom. These mailers are pretty snazzy, I gotta say. The black and white aesthetic. It's got that NWO aesthetic, which is good in my book. Okay. Is there only one book in here? Hold on. Is there an extra book in here? Don't tell me. Is this a surprise and delight moment, as they say in the biz? Am I getting surprised and delighted? Okay. He did throw in a free book. I mean, it is a free book, technically. Free comic book day. But I'm not mad at that. An extra book. It looks like it's a reprint of the Hero Gasm storyline from The Boys, which in the next season 3 of The Boys, my understanding is they're going to do the Hero Gasm storyline on the series. That should be interesting. I was a fan of The Boys series, comic series, way back when. And I'm a fan of the show too. I think it's one of the better adaptations. Okay. Next up, let's see. Okay, I didn't really know the condition, but then again, I didn't pay too much, so I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. I am a collector of Dave Stevens artwork, and we got a new addition to the Dave Stevens collection. And if you guys have tuned into my channel at all over the years or months or whatever, my thumbnails are always they're always inspired by a book that I've picked up that you're going to see in the haul. And there was a reason why we got a sweet Dave Stevens thumbnail. I gotta say, on this thumbnail, it looks like I thought the Rocketeer would save Betty Page. It looks like he's kidnapping fucking Betty Page right here. Like, she has a scowl, she's bound and gagged, and she's not like, yay, thank you for saving me, Rocketeer. She's like, hashtag me too right now. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but regardless, that's a good description, Gore. Wonderfully outrageous. Yeah. I wonder how much they're gonna adapt, because it's nuts. This is like some too hot for TV type stuff, but nowadays, who knows? Yeah, see, there we go. They might have to tone down the hero's gasm story for real. Steven's Rocketeer Artist Edition is about to drop. Yes. Simeon did tip me off to that. Okay, without further ado, it's the Elvira House of Mystery issue. This is one that never made its way to my collection. No one draws them females like Dave Stevens, in my opinion. One thing I gotta say, usually Dave Stevens' art is almost uncritiquable, frankly. But I'm gonna say that the eye placement of our girl Elvira here is a little, it's almost a lazy eye situation going on. But that's okay. Fantastic cover. No one knows how to draw them stems like Dave Stevens. And I thought it would be fun, since I'm about to add this to my Dave Stevens collection. Let's go through a quick montage of the status right now of the Dave Stevens collection in 84, the 84 Dave Stevens collection. Here we go. Here's the montage. That's the new edition. Da-da-da. I'm not going to explain each book. I'm just going to do King Kong. Ba, ba, ba. Multiple comic. Thursday. Airboy. Valkyrie. One of my favorites. Ba, 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 ba. Dun, dun, dun. Do. My favorite Vampirella cover, I think. And Vampirella is a title that just has banger cover after banger cover after banger cover. But I still think this is my primo Vampirella cover. And you're going to see this cover again. Watch. We got that Seduction of the Innocent. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, here it is again. We're making another appearance of that sweet, sweet Dave Stevens Virgin variant. Speaking of Rocketeer, stems, baby. And then the two slabs. I got two Steven slabs. Here we go. This cover makes its third appearance. Slabbed at a 9.8, which I'll never forget. Came to me courtesy of Jimmy, the Geek Aficionado. Wapow. And then lastly, my favorite Dave Stevens work, or maybe I should say my favorite Dave Stevens cover in my collection, is my much cherished Planet Comics, baby. Planet Comics #1. Love it, dude. I just love this cover. The poses, the design of that spaceship to make it look like a retro Cadillac or something. The yellow pops, the beauty, the monstrous hands reaching out. This is perfection. If we were doing graders notes, this cover would get a 5 on my scale. Love it. Okay, so yeah, this was the new edition, Elvira House of Mystery, but I figured it might be a good excuse to just go through the Dave Stevens collection. And let's shout out our new arrivals. Big O. All the Dave Stevens, please. I agree. Give me all that Dave Stevens. I'm missing a few, but I'll happily chip away at it until the day that I die. Biggie just says dumper. I came up with a new term yesterday. I just came up with it off the fly at work yesterday, and people got a kick out of it. So I'm like, maybe that'll stick, because they were like, oh yeah, the kids say dump truck. I'm like, what's dump truck? She says, oh, it means fat booty. Damn, she got a dump truck. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, yeah, my slang for fat booty is damn girl, you got a full diaper. I mean, I think that should catch on. I'm hoping that slang catches on. I think it's a great descriptor, because sometimes a fat butt kind of looks like a full diaper. Damn girl. So can you guys try that out next time you're, around a lady, maybe a cat calling out your window. It's summertime. You can still drive through the beach, or you go to the bar or the club. Try this out. You see a chick that's working with something on the backside there, say, damn girl, you got a full diaper, and report back to me. Let me know. I think it's going to be a hit. Your first instinct might be like, I don't know, Kenny, but trust. That's a full diaper on that girl. Maz Electrica, good to see you. Thank you. Dave Stevens is just one of the greatest. There's a lot of hot babe artists in the world. Your Art Germs, dare I say your Adam Hughes, etc. Dave Stevens is the one for me. And yay, Steve, hip hop's to me. He about to hit you with that comic substance. Good to see you, man. He'll cause you bodily harm with his cybernetic arm. Collectible. If by it will be a hit means you will get slapped. You may be hit. Come on, damn girl, that's a full diaper. Speaking of Graders Notes, another programming note. The next episode of Graders Notes, which is this time next week, next Thursday at 8 p.m., we're doing Thor 411. That's right. Thor 411's going down on Genome's channel? I think it's Genome. Genome Presents channel. Make sure you check them out. That's where we're going to be next week, doing Graders Notes. We're going to break it all down for you. All right. Let's see what else is on the agenda. I should say, seeing Jimmy's A-OK to Stone Cold Steve. I shouldn't say Jimmy's. It was on Jimmy's channel. He put together the Grail Syndicate. And Stone Cold Steve Stunner got blessed big time with a Grail. It reminded me how awesome the community is. I'm like often reminded of that. So I'm cooking up a batch of AOKs right now. Yeah, I'm just putting y'all on notice, man. I'm chefing up a few. It inspired me. I'm like, you know what? It's been a little bit since I sent out some torpedoes, so I'm in the process of locking and loading different torpedoes, and they're gonna be dispersed soon, just to keep the karmic energy in balance. Okay, let's get back to this last chunk of flea market pickups. Maybe a couple of these you've seen before. I'm not sure what I've posted and what I haven't. These might be like from like a month ago, a month and change ago. Got that Daredevil 254, the debut of Typhoid Mary. That seemed like a fun. This is a book that I've never had. I have never come across this issue of Daredevil before. So when I seen it, I didn't I didn't think twice. I think I paid $25 for it. He had it like up on his little wall. He knew it was, a nicer one. And I think I paid $25 for it. But I'll tell you what, this thing is high grade. This thing is like a clean copy. So I gave that man his $25. These were $1 a piece. Speaking of Graders Notes, this was the last issue that we did. Actually, no, 2 episodes ago on Graders Notes. Elektra Assassin, a very divisive book we found. Different opinions, controversial book. I thought it was a good ride for me. I'm yet to dig into. So I have number 1. I have number 2. Okay, we got 3 as well. We've got my favorite cover from the series, number 4. The Cupid. I mean, that's a Bill Sienkiewicz. That's Bill S. doing what Bill S. do. Damn, that's so good. I love that cover. And then the last one I have is issue 5. So I only have 1 through 5, and I know it's an 8-issue miniseries, but I got to body these other 4 issues because I was definitely into the first one. Yeah, see, Typhoid Mary's underrated. I think you're right, man. Underrated, underused. I think they snuck in Typhoid Mary in that, frankly, bogus Iron Fist show. And I don't even think they gave her half the face white. Like, some things you just got to do. And they didn't. This was another solid pickup. This is from the same guy that I got that Typhoid Mary. I snagged up that Strange Tales, baby. I got that Strange Tales 180. First appearance of the Avocado Monster. And also the first appearance of Gamora, of Guardians of the Galaxy fame. You know what I mean? And it was a pretty good deal too. I don't think, I didn't pay like $1 for it. The guy knew that it was like a good book. But shit, I want to say I gave him like $35 for it. I don't even think I gave him 40. Maybe I gave him 40, but it was like 35 or $40. And I was happy with it. It's in pretty good shape. It has like a crease in the middle, but it doesn't even really break color. See that crease? So some kid folded it in half or whatever, but all good with me, playa. Elektra got a full diaper on issue 5. Yeah. That's true. That's a full diaper. Shorty working with that full diaper. Diaper on swole. Gamora's the best MCU chick. Whoa. The gauntlet's been laid down. The gauntlet's been laid down. The best MCU. Oh, MC. I thought you just said Marvel in general. MCU chick. Well, that's still maybe a hot take. I'll leave it to the chat to maybe offer up their picks. It's not a bad question. Who's the Who's the coolest, best of the bunch MCU chick, female character? Yeah, and it was like I think $35, 30 maybe 40, I forget, but I know I didn't pay more than 40. It was like 35 or $40. Okay, proceed. This was $1 a piece book that I grabbed 3 of. It's just like some weird little key. It's like a new wasp. I think it was like Naomi Pym, maybe like Hank Pym's niece or something like that. First appearance. Like I said when I showed you those A Next books that I got. Sometimes these legacy characters, these descendant characters become relevant or whatever, so I just grabbed it. It's a pretty cool cover, and it's an Alex Ross cover, so. Oh, Geek says Savage Land Rogue. Well, that's comic based. We haven't seen that. Biggie said MCU chick. So Disney movies. Yeah, for the movies. Yeah, because I think in all of comics in Marvel, I doubt Biggie would pick Gamora. But for the movies, he might be right. I haven't given it much thought, but it's not a bad pick. That's for sure. I like Gamora better than like Black Widow. I think she's cooler than Black Widow. And I might even, would I go so far as to say Scarlet Witch too? I don't know. Maybe. I grabbed up this Avengers. Just the concept of this is Avengers BC, the old prehistoric versions of the Avengers. And just the concept of prehistoric Ghost Rider is a flaming skull dude riding a flaming woolly mammoth is just one of the funnest badass concepts I've seen. And the cover is fire. So I grabbed it. When I bought it, I didn't even know it was his first appearance. I was just like, oh, that's so cool. I bought it. And then later on, someone was like, yeah, that's the first appearance. I was like, oh, shit, I guess it is. Not that I think Woolly Mammoth Ghost Rider is going to be a household name or anything, but it was still fun that it was his first appearance. Yeah, you know what, Big O? I second that, dude. I will say, out of transparency here, I was not really blown away with that Black Widow movie. But Yelena was the MVP of the movie for me. She was pretty badass. Doesn't hurt that she's a hottie, Hott, hottie. You know what I'm saying? But also funny. She was cool. Like, she was entertaining. I want to see more of her. I guess she's going to be in the Hawkeye show. And I'm down for that. I want to see more of the Yelena, I'm not even going to reread that because I don't know who's in earshot. But appreciate you, geeks, and you are a funny motherfucker. You're the man, geeks. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons #1. Dungeons and Dragons is going to Netflix or something. So I was like, maybe that's relevant. Which is kind of cool. For $1, I mean, can't go wrong with that. I don't know if that's first Dungeons and Dragons comics. It's probably not. But almost in that same vein, Magic the Gathering. I know this is the first Magic, appearance. And Magic is also going to some kind of TV show platform shit. So, bam. I remember one day Justice for Comics slid on in my DMs and he's like, yo, heads up, keep an eye out for this book. And I said, 10-4, brother. When Justice tells me to keep an eye out, that's what I'm going to do. And sure enough, when I stumbled across it, I said, oh, that's that book. That's that book that Justice told me about. that's one of the real benefits of this community, honestly. It makes you a more knowledgeable, like, I'm not really up on the Magic. I don't think that made like hot lists and stuff. So yeah, it's cool to have people in the community put you onto stuff. That's one of the best things of watching comic hauls like this. And when you're watching guys like Mercenat and just everyone, Biggie Goes Hunting, just watching people what they pick up. It's like, oh, okay, you learn like, I didn't know about that book. I didn't know about that book. What a great resource. Like, not only is this shit entertainment, it's kind of like infotainment in a way too, because you're building up your repertoire, your library, your data bank, data bank, your whatever of books. Thanks, Maz. Midsummer. I've been hearing about Midsummer. I'm gonna have to check that out. It's like a horror movie, right? I gotta check out that. And I didn't know Florence Pugh because that's who plays Yelena. What If Comics #1. Babow. Not the highest grade in the world, but for a couple bucks, I gladly took it home. Speaking of, MCU stuff, I gotta say, Marvel Plus animation. Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, Marvel really took its time to get into the animation game. And you figure with Disney behind them, Disney Animation Studios. Yeah, it's not. That might ring a bell. Ever hear of like Lion King, Cinderella, fucking her, Mickey Mouse, Fantasia? Any of these ring a bell? The greatest animation films of our generation are made by Disney. Disney does not play. They have resources of talented artists and the whole thing in the world of animation. And I feel like they're really flexing that muscle because, the animation just like is so unique and clean, and like the action scenes are so well directed in those cartoons. It's like, damn, it's really something. I want to see beyond. I want to see what they're gonna do beyond this What If thing. I want to see if they're gonna do like feature length animated movies or like series and shit like that. If so, I'll be definitely interested to see. And I made maybe a controversial Instagram post. Some people said, "You're tripping, man. You're jumping the gun." I didn't say definitively that Marvel is the new king of comic book animation. DC's done. I didn't say that. Because no, DC has a huge catalog. They're not dethroned yet. But I'm just saying, as far as like MCU's or Disney Marvel's first outing in animation, if they keep up that, it felt like quality-wise, it was a rung higher than anything DC has put out, is all I'm saying, quality-wise. And they got all the voice actors, well, a lot of the voice actors. The one I watched the new one yesterday, Samuel Jackson in that shit, voicing a character, voicing Nick Fury, and I think other ones. Not every character does, I noticed, but I mean, they don't play around, dude. Even though honestly, the newest episode, I found it to be a little slow. I wasn't the best episode is still the first one for me, Captain Carter. So I don't think content-wise I'm so blown away by the cartoon. It's more of just like the technical way they're executing it. Okay, same director as Hereditary. Prepare yourself for some intensity for Midsommar. Intensity is the right word to describe Midsommar. Ooh, okay. I have to check that out. He says, yeah, I know What If would be their best show. What? What does that mean, D-Rung? You know What If would be their best show? Or it is their best show? Or you got to clarify this, D. Come on, man. while we wait for D to clarify that statement, I'm going to show you this. Nathaniel Richards cover appearance or whatever. Oh, Tokyo Drift. This is not. I put this box. I put this in the box not because I recently got it. I got this months ago. I bought it off eBay because I wanted to read it because I was on a Sean Gordon Murphy kick. But what do you know? Now this is like a thing, adaptation or something. You know, sometimes when you just got a good, you know, when your comic book taste is on point, it will not lead you astray, brother. You dig? So I guess this is a thing, and I think this would be a cool series to. I'd be interested to see this thing adapted. I don't know if it's going to be live action or if it's going to be animated, but I honestly think this thing would look better animated than live action because it's pretty bugged out, and I feel like you better have a big budget if you're gonna make this shit live action. I would almost want to see it animation style. Okay, here we go. We got clarity. I knew What If would be their best show. Oh, so are you saying, D, that this What If animated series is the best show of Disney Plus so far? Better than WandaVision, better than Loki, better than Falcon Winter Soldier. Is that the opinion? What If is the best of all those shows? We're going to await clarification on this because I gotta digest that. I don't know if I'm going to outright disagree. I'm tempted to, but I'm gonna try it on for size. But I gotta see that's what D's saying. Okay. D stamped it. D saying What If is the best series of only 3 episodes, mind you. D-Runk was not impressed with WandaVision. He said, I don't give a fuck about this witch banging this robot. I don't want to see a romance between, a robot and a witch. Falcon Winter Soldier, he said, I don't care about all this. Hold on. I don't want to, I don't care about all this. This guy training with his new shield. What If's where it's at. Okay. Like Tupac Shakur said, I'm mad at you. Norin, my man. What's up, man? He'd say What If is on the same level of those shows, but he wouldn't say better. But then again, we don't know what episodes are still to come. They could really stick the landing here. Me personally, I feel like, even though I think they're all very good, I really do. But I do think for me, my enjoyment, the quality has decreased with each episode. Agent Carter is a phenomenal episode of animation. That shit is so good. Then the Black Panther one is pretty damn good. It didn't quite soar at the heights. It just didn't have the action sequences in that Agent Carter episode was just ill. So the Black Panther one didn't surpass that. And then this recent one, who's killing the Avengers, is a notch down. So far for me, it's doing this, but I'm hoping it does this soon. I see. Yeah, that is one benefit to not doing a story arc is the finale. You don't have to worry about a disappointing finale. Fair enough. Let's see. Closing statements. I'll remind you of the rap battle that's going down tomorrow night on DJ Links. Watch that video game scandal video that D-Runk posted. I don't know if you have it handy enough that you could just repost it, but people should really watch that. I got a round of AOK torpedoes coming out soon. I'm not super impressed with the Spider-Man movie trailer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a hot take. I'm not going to get into this big diatribe about it, but all I'm going to say about the Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home shit is that in pro wrestling, a good pro wrestling match, the guys are like telling a story. Some guys are good storytellers. Bret Hart was a great storyteller. Him versus Stone Cold in the I Quit match is one of the best storytelling wrestling matches. Hot Rod Roddy Piper was a great storyteller in wrestling. But sometimes you have these guys they're all about the high spots, okay? And they're not so much about like telling the story as they go, the highs and the lows. It's just like the matches are just doing some shit until they can get to the high spot where you set up the ladder up on this and you climb up the ladder and you jump off the ladder and you do some big splash. It's like, oh shit. But the storytelling of the match isn't always on par. You're just building up to these big spots where you do these big crazy moves. I get the sense from that trailer that movie feels like it's going to be a lot of high spots and like, oh shit, look who it is. Damn, this is crazy. Mind-bending multiverse stuff. Like the ill graphics of like Spider-Man was like swinging through a city, but the city was folding in on itself. I think it looks like a movie that is constructed around a lot of oh shit moments. But I wonder if the story is it going to be a really solid story that you really are going to be invested and care about. We're going to see good character development and shit. Or is it going to be a lot of cheap pops? I don't know. I'm open-minded. I think it's cool to see the old Dr. Octopus and all that shit. And I haven't heard any spoilers and shit, but you have to assume that the third act, the finale, is going to be, right? Isn't it safe to say, what do you think the finale is going to be? It's going to be Sinister Six, all these villains roll up, right? Which would be cool. Sinister Six is rolling up. And then what happens? Spider-Man is overwhelmed. And then a couple portals open up. And then, boom, out comes one Spider-Man. Boom, out comes another Spider-Man. Oh, shit. It's freaking Tom Holland. It's Tobey Maguire. It's Andrew Garfunkel. It's the three Spider-Mans that had to come from all the universes together to fight the bad guys. And you're going to see this big scene of all the three Spider-Mans web slinging around, punching the Vulture, you know what I'm saying? Mysterio, all these different villains. And it's going to be this big, oh, fuck, which should be cool. But I could just see the writing on the wall, you know? Anyway, that's it, man. I'm just going to end it on that. No, I don't want to end it on a sour. No, that wasn't sour. Yeah, true. I would like to see a Spidey die. And I don't even have to think for more than 2 seconds to tell you. I want Tobey Maguire dead. Not personally. But I want Tobey Maguire dead. Don't clip that. But I wouldn't mind. He was definitely my least favorite Peter Parker. I never had a connection with him. Yeah, it'll be a fun movie. I'm not trying to be overcritical. All right, man. Let me get out of here. An hour and a half. I can't believe it. I got to get out of here, eat some dinner, and call it a night. This is fun, man. Damn, it's been a while. I appreciate people coming through throughout the shit, man. That's what's up. I miss this. Man, I don't know when it was that I just chilled for a live stream and did a haul for an hour and change. I miss it. I miss you guys. Appreciate y'all. Everyone have a good night. And I'll, see you soon. See you around. Peace. Let me do my little outro thing. Hold on. Like I said, I'm getting rusty. Let me do my cool outro. And we out this.